Ready? I am sorry. I'm just a little ill prepared. I've had a lot of ancillary stuff been going on, which is taking up a little bit of my attention. And there's a lot of DFS stuff that is going to necessitate my attention rather quickly. So we have to deal with that kind of right away. There's Bobby right there. I'm just apologizing to whoever's on here. Again, I've been, as you could have told by some of my afternoon stuff, I'm just very distracted. So I am doing this, but I'm a little bit ill prepared. I did see that. Well, we'll get to basketball later, but I did see that Brogdon and Sabonis are ruled out. That's good. I noticed that. That's something. Yeah. So we'll I guess we'll deal with that later.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Now, the other bit of good news, this is just selfishly for my own thing, is that I'm not playing that many baseball lineups, so I can kind of deal with it. Wait, Killian Hayes is out?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Oh, I told you that was going to happen.
Okay.
Why would they play this guy after coming off that situation? But yeah, he's out.
Yeah. This is so manageable. I only have, and you know what? If everybody has a problem with it, they can complain to DraftKings. I would show you my lineups, but they're not letting me. What I was saying is I only have 8 lineups on DraftKings baseball, which is good. So I'll be able to handle that, and we'll go over the. Right now, I have 4 lineup. No, 1 lineup for now in FanDuel, but I'm probably going to make that into 4. So you want to go over? The baseball again?
Yeah, let's do it. Telling some things that I think are important. For some reason, my thing's not hooking up a little efficiently here, so I can't see what my percentages are of each players accurately quite. But yeah, we can go through it. I love I have one strong take, I guess, and I'm basically completely avoiding Texas and Toronto.
That's a pretty strong take, actually. Because
look, it could happen. I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. I understand that they could hit the run total. Sure. Are they the team that I think these guys that hit the most home runs tonight? To me, no. I do like Joe. I do have some one-offs of Joey Gallo. I do have some one-offs of David Dahl, but very few. And I have on FanDuel, I have a tiny bit of what's his name, Gavin Biggio. Just like that. That's it, and a tiny bit of it. I mean, it's really not anything significant to me. I don't like these chalky spots in terrible hitting parks with guys who are, one is going to be a bullpen game, the other a guy who actually has been pretty efficient throughout his career. So not for me.
I like it.
I do love Toronto's lineup in general. I love stacking Texas on the road. We made some money doing it the first weekend. I'm not going to do it today. So I'm just that's where I'll start, I guess.
Well, so let's start. You want to start with DraftKings then? So we'll start with DraftKings. So who are going to be your main pitchers then?
So I have 4 guys I'm using in most of I think in pretty much all my lineups. Only 4. Giolito is the most owned, followed by Darvish, Paxton, and Glasnow, and 5. Sorry, Kershaw. Kershaw I have 4th, but I'm not playing him in my high buy-in stuff because I feel like his upside may be slightly less. It worries me a little bit because I could make an argument for him over Glasnow. I think he's actually like probably the better play, but I think Glasnow against what I think is a really weak lineup may have more K ups. It's close for me. It's really close between those 2.
So what's interesting to me is that you only mentioned the top spends pretty much.
You shouldn't be paying down for pitcher. If you do tonight, in my opinion, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
I don't see any reason.
So you don't buy into the. Actually, the wind is against you. I was going to talk about the Chicago.
No, that's my favorite game to stack.
Okay, good. Okay.
So that's where I'm at with that one. And I don't. This game's, of course, the Blue Jays and Rangers game could shoot out and things could happen. Bullpens aren't good, and the offense is actually, especially on the Blue Jays side, is probably underrated and affordable on I don't understand why they're so popular on draft. I really don't understand this. And I, at the same time, cannot tell you why the Cubs and Brewers are projecting to be so low owned. So other than Yelich and Colton Wong, basically.
Well, let's talk about something else. Let's talk
Well,
about.
actually, I guess Milwaukee is being owned, but the Brewers aren't. I'm sorry, the Cubs aren't.
What I was going to say is let's talk about something that I think is pretty relevant. And what do you think about the weather situation in Colorado?
Yeah, so we need. I mean, look, I'm not going to ever try to pretend to be a weatherman. So listen to Kevin Roth on that one. I will wait till he does his next update, and that's what I will determine it on.
Well, we could determine what we're going to determine, right? Like, what if he says, "Well, it's." Because what I've heard is, yes, there's definitely rain issues, and they might even be able to get that in, but also there's also wind blowing in issues. Yeah,
but that doesn't usually affect things greatly. The cold weather would probably bother me more, but I understand. But they're concerns, sure. I'm treating that game as a stack or fade, so it works fine for me. And I'll be able to wait up till lock for that game till I'd actually make my final decisions.
Because I have a really, really cool, good lineup with that game. That's not like, it's not like a full stack of that game or anything, but it's got like some pieces that I really want that really fit in nicely with something else I'm doing. And I just don't want that kind of risk going.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to keep up to date with what Roth is saying with that.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to read the most recent one in just a second, but I've got to change a couple lineups here. The most recent thing is, where is it? Sorry about this. This is what happens. You have so many tabs on your screen. What's he got it at right now? Orange yellow. That's better than it was earlier.
Yeah, but read through what it says.
Yeah, I've read through this one actually. This is not any different. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good reason to fade a game. But the problem is, you're not getting it's not like all the chalks in this game.
Well, we talked about that though. I mean, you think that like, how do you deal? I still don't know how.
You get low on scored, you always try to take shots, in my opinion, on these kind of slates. But is the ownership low enough?
But the weather is so much risk, though. I mean, you get a 0.
Well, I mean, I have to 8:40 Eastern. I don't have to this. I can always switch over to the combos of the Dodgers and well, I guess it's pretty much the Dodgers stack that I would have to try and there is value enough on the Dodgers stack to do that. So that's what I would do. If I'm still nervous at that time, that's what I'll do.
And what do you think of the Mets?
I like them. I think that everyone sort of forgot. I do have some Mets stacks, so don't get me wrong. But I think people forgot that Chase Anderson's like a pretty efficient pitcher and hasn't been nearly as bad as people look too much at advanced numbers in baseball instead of realizing that some guys actually, even if the ball's hit hard, if they're always hit on the ground, it's not going to matter. Chase Anderson is not a great pitcher. I do think the Mets have some upside. I love this Mets lineup, so I've been wanting to play them, and it's a great ballpark upgrade for them. If they if all these guys were going to be all super chalk, and they're owned, but mostly it's just going to be Alonso and Conforto, I think, who you're going to get ownership on DraftKings. So I sort of like the stack because I think that it's actually going to go lower. But I've heard a lot of people talking about it, and I don't think Chase Anderson is anywhere near the worst pitcher on this slate. Say that, but I like this. I like the Mets. I like the offense. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I think we might be making mistakes by not. I think you really need, if you're playing a lot of lineup, you need to get some Dodger stacks in. It's like they're begging you to on FanDuel too now because you've got like Pollock batting 5th. People think about these guys as bad guys. AJ Pollock was on pace per plate appearance to hit 50 home runs last year. If you extrapolate that out, that's like ridiculous. Imagine if a guy who had 50 home runs was 2,500 on FanDuel, low owned and in a pretty good matchup, batting 5th for one of the best, probably the best team the best team in baseball. And I just don't know if people are going to do that. Maybe they will now that he's batting 5th, but then you get Rios. No, it costs nothing. You can play McKinstry. You still got Seager, and obviously Seager being the best play of all, but in bets obviously. But I love trying to stack the Dodgers today.
Let me eyeball this lineup here. Okay, so the thing is that so Bellinger is out. So you get Betts, Seager, Turner, Muncy. I'm just reading through. Yeah, you can get, Lux is reasonable, right? From the 7 hole.
Yep.
You just don't want to. So you can get a nice little 2-man with Rios and Lux, right?
Yeah, I think that you can go 5-man and they're fine. That's a good.
You could do that too, and you can play Pollock too, right? And I'm saying they're like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I love this spot. I mean, low ownership. I'm just going to play the Dodgers. Anytime Dodgers are going to be low owned, I'm going to play more of them than everybody else is. It's just, I'll do my best to try at least.
5, and then Pollock, and then Rios. We could put him over here.
Works better easier to do on DraftKings. I'm sorry, on FanDuel.
I don't know. I could get this. I can get these guys in on DraftKings rather
than
so.
Yeah, just the guys like Pollock are not as cheap as they are over there.
Right.
And Rios. But yeah, I'm going to get myself some Dodger 5-man stacks right now because I think there's so much out there. You should pay up for pitching. You can pay up for whoever you want. There's plenty of cheap value, a million different directions you can go with it. If you want to talk about that, we can, I guess, rank some of it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I think that it's so hard to do it. It'd be so easy if someone asked like a 1v1 or something with it because it's really hard to just think there's so many things. Daniel Vogelbach is 2,800 and has immense power and is hitting in a win game in Chicago. I like Daniel Vogelbach at first base. For value at second base, I think Colton Wong is not like super value, but he's 3,300 and you can just jump ahead of him to Escobar at 38. Those are the guys I'm using the most on DraftKings. Have a little bit of Bodie in my Cub stacks, but not a ton. Third base, I am not paying down as much, but I do think Travis Shaw is a reasonable price. And there was somebody who stood out as being cheap. I just had marked. Alec Baum is okay, and Tommy La Stella are okay if they're not playing Darvish. But I think that your better bet is just going a little bit higher, playing either McMahon or McMahon, Shaw, Rios. That range is where I'd be. The cheap ones at shortstop, you shouldn't be doing cheap at shortstop, in my opinion. So I think I'll just cross that one off. There's just no reason on DraftKings to do that with the great shortstops we have up top. And the outfield, you've got Matt Joyce at 2,100 leading off.
I thought of that. You know what? But then you scared me a little bit because
I'm not telling you to play him right now. I'm just saying that he's a guy.
He's 2,100, but you got me all scared of Stroman for some reason.
Fly ball pitcher versus ground ball hitter. I mean, you should be scared never to play. We shouldn't be scared never to play. He's not my favorite. I mean, I should have mentioned McKinstry at second base. Better in stacks, obviously, but definitely in play. Outfielders also, we have Pavin Smith leading off at 2,600. You have Vaughn, if you're not playing Paxton, who has a lot of power, at batting sixth at 2,500. Those are the guys who I would be trying to get to ahead of Joyce, but I will have a tiny bit of Joyce. And Trammell, I don't love it against Giolito, but he would fall well behind, I guess, the next guy for me, which would be Abizail Garcia. Another great value at 2,900. And then you've got all of the Colorado game is underpriced. That's the one thing it's going for it. I'm treating it as a stack or fade, and I can always make my adjustments later to the Dodgers if I need to, because guys like McKinstry and Rios and Pollock even out the spend ups. And then I do love Joey Gallo today, but I am not. In general, I'm just not touching that game. I think David Peralta, assuming that game is fine, would be the guy I would side with. And even if with the wind blowing in and the cold weather, I still think it's okay. I think Vegas knows that too. I don't think it's like only us who have that information.
Right.
Ketel Marte would be Ketel Marte is the last of the Arizona guy, the most expensive of them, but I love him. He's the best play on Arizona, in my opinion.
Which one, Marte?
Yeah, he's just their best player. I love Jock Peterson at 3,800. This is some weird, just unusual guys. So those are some of my value guys for today. I'm going to take a look in chat and see if there's any questions. Guys, top of the QQs, please give us the like.
Who do we think is first base for Arizona today, Cabrera or Walker?
What? Arizona first base?
Yeah.
I don't have any Arizona first baseman, so I don't know.
I just wonder who's you. Do you have no interest in Christian Walker then? Is what I'm saying.
No, I mean,
okay.
At first base, I would rather, if I'm going to play that game, I'm going to play Crone.
Oh, from Colorado side, you mean? Okay.
Yeah. So if I'm playing it at all, I'm not, and I would never play. I would play Cabrera at third because it's a lot weaker.
Okay.
And then again, you're right. Yeah, he can play. He plays at third. Yeah, he plays at third on both sides. Wow, that's weird. FanDuel's a little bit different. We can run through it in a minute, but I'm just gonna take a quick look and see if there's anything up here. Oh my God, this guy. Yeah, that's hilarious. Sheets. This is what I mean. This is what you started, by the way. So Reggie Wilson is in there saying, "Is it true that you guys get paid by the sites?" My buddy told me.
Hold on. I'm looking at the Tampa batting order right now.
Okay.
I'll deal with him in a minute.
I told you the guy believed you, and you didn't believe me, but he did. Kevin Wise loves the chalk. I don't. Yes, we are doing a Masters video, James. What's up, Jeremiah? Yeah, Drummond ruled out. That's also important news.
Drummond ruled out. Okay, that is important.
Yeah, I had no interest anyway, but I was. But I do think it's important.
Who do you think's going to be the catcher for Arizona today?
It's what's his name? It's already in. It's they have their lineup out. It's.
I don't have it on DraftKings. It's so funny. Okay.
Yeah, the DraftKings just doesn't. I don't know why they don't have it updated.
Who's it, Kelly?
It's Kelly.
Okay.
Who will be the lower owned of the two? So I like Kelly. If you're going to play them, but I am trying to make sure I have none of it. I don't want these guys on their own in Colorado. It's not a big enough edge where I feel like I need to do that. So I'm just not doing it in my big tournaments here. It's a shame because I love Trevor Story today too on the Colorado side, and Cron are my favorite.
Let's see what we have here. Questions. Reggie Wilson, is it true you guys get paid by the sites?
This is what you started.
My buddy told me that.
So I'm telling you,
I'm kind of bound by confidentiality on that one, Reggie.
Please don't keep it going, Sheets. Really, please don't.
Any deal that I have with the sites is really just a private matter that, I was probably wrong of me to even say anything the last time. And so I'm not gonna make the mistake of saying it again. So sorry, Reggie, you can ask me about the DFS and stuff like that, but as far as our business arrangements go, I already made the mistake of letting it slip one time. I'm not gonna do it again. Kevin Wise, love Jay's stack with the Rangers. I think Bobby did a good job of talking about that one. I have to say that I wonder if, Bobby, if you're a little bit biased because you keep going back to, I sat in that stadium, I watched the batting practice.
No, I watched all the numbers all year, and I was like, we talked about it on the flight over about how is this stadium really like that. Part of it is the stadium. Part of it is Texas's lineup sucks, like just in all fairness. It's a bullpen game. And also, why would I want to play the chalk on this slate when the chalk sucks compared to the other line?
Right. Sorry. Let's see what else we have. We have James saying, are you doing a Sheets Masters video? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Any Marquez on DK? I thought about it, Eric, and I think that if I did, if I played a bunch of lineups, I might take a shot. But I think the combination of being Coors and the rain risk, you know what I mean? Like all that just kind of bothers me a little bit. Now, what you have going for you is that if they do play, it's probably a nasty game as far as weather goes. So maybe, but I the amount of lineups I'm playing tonight, I wouldn't do it. Will Pingree, yes.
Oh no, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Sex. Will Pingree. Will, dude, you were really helpful to me the other day. I don't know, you're back in troll mode a little bit, but you were really helpful to me the other day. We grinded out that.
You saw the checks. No, she's you're. I mean, really, I'm seriously like this close to like logging off. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm not going to encourage trolls. I don't want to be in part of this. It drives me nuts. These guys are. That guy is.
Tony is saying they don't get paid from other sites for real. RJFL, what teams have the highest projected? Have the highest projected ownerships if the Dodgers and Cubs don't. I still believe that
Toronto, Texas.
The Dodgers won't because RJ, we talked about this earlier. The problem is that it's difficult to play too many of them together. And people are not completely dumb. They want to stack, right? So what happens is if a lot of people want to stack and it costs so much money to get a lot of them in, then they're just going to not be as highly owned as some of these other guys. That's all. Maybe other things, to be honest with you. Eric Johnson is a giant stack, too much to run on this slate. Again, you're getting into ideas which I think are decent ideas for like MME, like really getting into, maybe like a few percentiles of giants and stuff like that. It's just not for me today. Tony A. LA loaned. Bobby, any value pitcher tonight? Tony, do you like any value pitcher tonight? Yeah, it's funny. I really don't. And the thing is, I thought that it was going to be difficult to get in the hitters that I wanted by playing the pitchers I wanted, right? But as it turns out, it really isn't. I mean, like I'm getting in the Arizona guys that I want if I feel like playing that, like you're saying. I'm able to get in the Tampa guys that I want. If I'm getting in so I don't get all the Dodgers in. Big deal, So I don't think that this is the slate to go value hunting. Now, if that Cubs game were going to be like wind blowing in, then I think you would have had two guys that could have had well, on the one hand they could have had more upside. On the other hand, they could have had a lot of ownership too. Maybe I don't know. Like I think that maybe you would have gotten ownership out of either of those Peralta, Alzolay guys if the wind were blowing in. But I think as it stands, I'm just kind of comfortable with the Giolitos and the Glasnows and the other two. That's basically it. I don't think I'm doing Kershaw. That's going to be my concession, I guess. But like I said, if I were going to play multiple lineups, I definitely would have done it. So that's where I'm at. I want to just finish up my FanDuels here, and I'll do this. I could do this on the other page, I guess. Who else do I like on FanDuel besides? Yeah, you don't like Toronto or whatever, but I kind of like this particular lineup. So let me see what is in this one. This is one lineup in all four. Oh, sounds good to me. Let's try it. Let's do that. But Betts, Seager.
I think I was talking about the solo show, wondering what I'm doing here.
Margot, Tampa. Oh, this is a 2, but dude, like this. This isn't losing. This is winning. All right. So you want to talk about the NBA now?
Sure. I didn't answer any of those things or say anything, so I would like to throw in my shots.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, but Jamie, yes, I like Tampa a lot, actually.
Tampa, I think they're fine. They're not where I'm going, but I totally get it. And I'm trying to remember the other actual questions within all this. I like Eric's question about the Giants. I think it's too cute on this site for me personally, but that's just not where I'm at too. Nobody's being honest. And by the way, Reggie, everybody, if you can't tell that Sheets is not being sarcastic, I'm sorry, but you're probably missing something. And you definitely don't know him. What teams are the highest projected? Oh, you got that one. All right, that one. That's it for that one. Tampa Bay interest. Bobby, do I like Kershaw tonight? Yeah, I do think I like him more as a safer play than I do as like a high upside. So I'm finding myself with a little more Glasnow actually in tournaments, which is odd because Kershaw will have a longer leash. Glasnow probably has more K upside. It's a tough battle with that one. Right now I have he and Glasnow 4th and 5th, and my favorite 3 in order are Giolito, Darvish, then Paxton. And Paxton is a little bit of a wild one too, but I do like him. And Sheets, we can go to the NBA if you like.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
All right, let's do it. Put Mookie in here, and that's it. Sorry, I just had to get my Colorado guys out of there.
Well, this is ridiculous. Why do I have none of him?
Guys, drop in any NBA QQs or any NBA thoughts, certainly if there's anything that we're missing, and I'll give you guys who my highest owned players are in just a second. I'm just editing, making sure I get this lineup set up right. And make sure it's in this one. By the way, Colorado, when things are bad in general, I know the weather blowing in and all that makes it an extra reason tonight. But in general, with Colorado, like they will try harder than most teams to get games in by a long shot.
Okay.
Because they have to deal with this so often, and they'll get games in, and those games can get wild, obviously, as we know. So my basketball is, I'm just playing a couple of big rounds, you know, and like, okay, hold on. Yeah, that's yeah. You guys look. I like Marquez. There's just no Eric. I hear what you're saying. You're absolutely gaining nothing by playing Marquez, in my opinion. There's nothing to do with the weather. It's just, do you think he's the highest scoring pitcher on the slate? That's my answer, because you can get whatever you want hitting wise. There's absolutely zero reason. And I would just flat out say that if you aren't paying up for pitching, that you're doing it wrong, unless you think the pitcher who's cheaper is going to outscore these guys, because you're not saving anything. That's my take personally. But NBA wise,
if you were, and not only that, but these pitchers that you're fading, I mean, there's like a lot of points that you're giving up, you know?
Yeah, and it could have last night when you have one pitcher who's a spend up and you've got a bunch of guys who are in the middle, and yeah, one of those guys often will pass the one guy who's a spend up. When you have 6 guys at the top or 5 guys at the top who are significantly better than everybody else in better spots, it's just really, and also you really aren't gaining anything. I don't see any reason to extra, like, even if you want to pay up, I think you can pay up for the Dodgers. I think people aren't willing to do it creatively and play guys like McKinstry, but that's what they should be doing if they're going to try and stack them, rather than paying down for pitching. That's just my personal take. All right, so I'm going to pull up my NBA. For some reason, I closed it because there's too many damn things open. So on FanDuel, let's start off there if we don't mind, because that's what I've got actually completed right now.
Yeah.
I'm playing four Pacers and I'm playing 2 Bulls. So you guys are pretty smart guys. I think you can probably figure out which ones. Maybe. Who can figure out that one?
Well, I can figure out 4 of them. I think 4 of the 4. I don't know.
All right. Well, okay. We'll go. Let's see if we can get them. Throw them out there.
Let me just think. Hold on. Was it on FanDuel?
FanDuel.
So that one is for sure. That's 1, 2, 3. I guess those 4. I'm trying to think. Before I announce these, I'm trying to think if you would play Jeremy Lamb on FanDuel. Because that would be 5.
I can't do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, McConnell and McDermott and Turner and LeVert.
Yep. McConnell, Turner. Yeah, that's right. But do you know the 2 Bulls? I guess it's pretty easy to.
I would presume. Oh, I'll tell you who I'm not going to play. I think we're going to be in the wrong one. So I was going to say Levine and Vooch, but are you going to play? Are you playing Thad?
No, I'm playing Williams.
Ooh, I like it. I think that's much better. I like that a lot.
That's the way you can play this the chalky stuff and then get a little different.
Oh, I like that a lot, actually. Okay.
That's what I'm going with.
That's excellent.
Yeah, and then I just got my other favorite value and my other favorite spend up. So, or my other 2 favorite spend ups, I should say. I don't know if it's my favorite spend up. I'm using a guy that I didn't plan to use today because he fit in with what I wanted to do, and he's a guy who you mentioned, and that's Trae Young. I didn't plan to use him today at all, but he's 8,500, and I literally have every other player I want. So I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't know why I would go with it.
What do you think of what do you think's going to happen with Jamal Murray?
Oh, you mean is I don't know. Does it matter? I don't think it matters.
I am of the belief that they sit him. How about that?
I just don't think it means anything. Well, Monty Morris just got back too. Like, is he going to start? Are we going to play Monty Morris over this other value just coming off the injury? I don't know that what is Monty Morris's price?
I'm not too into Monty Morris tonight.
That would be the guy who would benefit, and that's it.
Yeah, his usage really doesn't help when he's starting. Like, that's the problem.
Maybe you could argue Jokic gets a little bit of a boost, I guess, but it's significant enough. So we're still on the nobody likes Embiid thing, right?
Well, I could tell you one person who likes Embiid.
LeVert, Holiday. Guys, don't freak out with the Sumner starting, by the way. That's not anything that's a surprise at all. So stick with your TJ McConnell shares.
Yeah. I mean, Sumner's not bad.
No, well, yeah. I mean, you could squeeze him in on DraftKings if you want to. I think
And
that's
what do you
fine.
do? And so you're not playing Justin Holiday, I presume. That's the import of what you were saying.
Yeah, I could have like. I mean, I'm okay with Justin Holiday, but I don't think that it's like he's getting like some sort of, he can always make threes, and yeah, there's maybe a few more shots that aren't going to go into the post, but usually that's where he gets his stuff. I mean, it's like those are willing passers that he plays with. Levert is, but he's a little bit more take it on himself. He's fine. I'm just not like not certainly not trying to get him in at all. If you want to get creative, like Sumner will have some ownership, and I think he's fine. But I think that if you wanted to get really creative with it, you could consider going the other Holiday, Aaron Holiday. That would be a massive tournament field only.
And you're not a Lamb guy.
No, I love Lamb in general. I'm gonna see real quick. I want to see I don't have an updated projection of him.
Charlie McAvoy. Oh, it's hockey. I was going to say Charlie McAvoy's out for Boston. I didn't even know he was on the team.
I mean, it's just Lamb versus McDermott. I know McDermott's going to play 30 minutes. Lamb might play 10. We've seen that happening before when they've rested guys too. But I'm curious. I would like to see an updated projection on Lamb. Do you have anything, Sheets, in terms of? I don't have him. I have him playing like 14 minutes, so I don't even as a possibility at the moment. I will fade the Gasol stuff, but I think it's like I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. He's gonna pop on projections. I'm not gonna do it personally.
What about Flynn?
I'm not fading Flynn.
Okay.
Even if whether he's starting or not, I just think that it's just I don't know what's going to happen to those minutes. They saw they needed a guard. He stepped in. The guy who's not projecting well. Let's see if he still isn't. I did some digging, and I cannot figure out the DeAndre Bembry projected minutes thing. At all. I would love it if you've got another site that projects them differently, Sheets, because I'm not finding it.
Okay, let me just.
Because that's a big thing to me. I mean,
I'm going to look at it in a minute.
I cannot figure out where those minutes go exactly, and why Stanley Johnson would all of a sudden. Well, actually, he would play basically close to the same.
Well, here let's have some fun. Let's see. Let's see here. So we're going to look at DraftKings. I guess that doesn't really make a difference, right? So let's just see.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up. Sabersim won't mind. We'll pull Sabersim up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if we can't find it. Okay. So we will handle it this way. Filter. We are looking for who?
Bembry.
And let me just find out what minutes we're looking at. Projection. Where are the minutes? Let me just see. Minutes. Okay. Minutes would be over at BB and Bembry would be here. 48. BB. Yeah, I have him at 28.
You have him at 28 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's more my thinking. Okay. I just couldn't figure out where anybody was getting this 22-minute projection that's stuck up all day over here. And by the way, I'm playing Embiid. I'm totally confused. What's going on here? I'm thoroughly confused with all this value that Embiid. Maybe it's just a misprojection. Are you seeing Embiid projecting well elsewhere, percentage-wise, or?
No, he's like 5%. He's also like 5% owned everywhere. It's 50 fantasy points. I mean,
what are we missing, Sheets? What are we missing? I really don't understand it.
I guess I hate money. I guess I don't know.
Well, I guess I hate money.
I guess they're concerned about the minutes.
Okay. By the way, if you're thinking about playing Gasol, I would encourage you guys to try and think about playing Aaron Baines. I think he's the better play than Gasol here. Makes me nervous to say it out loud, but I think it's accurate.
Well, and why and why are we not? I guess we are. I was gonna say, why are we not playing LeVert everywhere? I guess we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I am for sure. But Baines should at least match Gasol's minutes tonight. I liked him better when Drummond was going to be in, but we can't get everything.
Can't get everything.
Jakar Sampson's point production projection I find hilarious, as if he's a fantasy point per minute player. I mean, what is he? He's got to be like a 0.5 hit per minute player. I mean, it's hard. You're only playing 1 or 2 minutes at a time, so it's kind of difficult. Maybe it's close enough, but whatever. Still, I'm okay without it. I mean, it's like people know Montrezl Harrell's still on the Lakers, right? Like,
what?
I'm just confused. I'm confused by this whole Gasol. I'm just confused by the projections, I guess, today. But you know what? It's that time of year. One thing I'm struggling with right now, I guess I'll just say, I'm struggling with the Bjelica versus Baines and like that kind of situation in general. And I'm actually flirting with the idea of potentially playing Draymond and Steph together. And I think it's okay because this is an ultimate pace game on both. Like, Milwaukee will be happy to run up and down the court with them. Brandon Clark just got ruled out. I'm not sure it's going to matter a ton, but it might matter some. So I'll have to take a look in a second. All right, I'm going to see if there's any questions in here real quick because I'm pretty much good with my lineup unless we hear about other stuff, which we probably will. All right. Bad people like him. I don't. Sheets, do you like him?
I don't. He would have been a good. He actually would have been a good play if Sabonis were in. I think he'd be a good player to go up against Sabonis. But I think he's going to get his normal whatever minutes. I think.
Yeah, I guess Barton, if Murray is out, by the way, as K9 Bronco asked with a question mark, that would be the guy who gets another boost. But I mean, really, we just saw Barton without Michael Porter, without what's his name, Aaron Gordon, and without Michael Porter Jr. And like it was, it was fine. That's what it was. No, we don't work for RG or Run Pure. We work for True DFS ourselves, which is something we started. When Bobby says it's fine, he means don't do it. John, that is a pretty astute observation. It doesn't mean don't do it. It means I'm not doing it. And Sheets picked up on that a long time ago when we were talking. That if I say it's fine, that's pretty much not for me. Let's see. Need help at catcher on DK. Who do I spend down on? I'm going to answer some baseball stuff too in here. Dom Nunez and Narvaez would be my favorite two. Sheets. Anybody you got? Other than that,
Dom's got the normal that risk of that game risk, but I think Narvaez is kind of a standout.
Yeah, I'm just looking to make sure that all my Nunez lineups are that game stack real quick, and they are so far. The problem is I've got a lot of those that game stacked still. I just can't resist myself with the lower owned cores.
Okay.
It's I don't know. It could be whatever degrees out there. I don't know. Any preference between Giannis and Jokic? Yes, I prefer Giannis over Jokic. Sheets, how about you?
I totally agree.
And by the way, I'll take it a step further. I'm playing Embiid over Jokic, so we're gonna get different tonight. There is no justifiable reason why Embiid should be like unowned tonight, and I haven't heard anything. I have heard there's no injury report, anything. There's nothing going on. I'm gonna
and not that you needed to hear this from me. I hate to say this to you because you just might end up playing him more when I remind you of this if you didn't know this already. But it is a nationally televised game.
Boom! There you go, Sheets. That's the dynamite dropping. Yeah. See now I went from having 100%. Now I want to get 110%.
There you have it.
Yeah, I actually am not playing him on FanDuel. I have him in one of my.
Yeah, he's going to be 2% on FanDuel.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. I want to warn people, even though I'm doing it. There is definitely. So I'm not playing Miles Turner on DraftKings at the moment. There is definitely some risk to Miles Turner. Like, this is not – he doesn't have the kind of game where he has to smash. Now, I know he's had some good games in the past in these spots, but I'm just saying, like, don't be shocked if he doesn't do anything.
Okay. Let's see this.
I'm kind of excited now about basketball. The Embiid thing has got me excited. It's like rejuvenated me.
Yeah, and the good thing is that it could be all be over quickly.
Exactly. I mean, what are they going to do on it? Are you serious? You know what? He's smashing tonight, and I'm not buying any of the ownership either. I'm telling you, he's ending up 10% plus. No way he doesn't. People can't be this dumb. He's done it every time he's on TV, guys. Like, every time. It's not like he misses. Like, sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. He always does it.
The only guy, well, I have two guys that I have right now. I'm playing a grand total of 4 lineups on DraftKings. And I only have actually one guy that's in all. I have Flynn is in all of them. And actually I have Bembry in all of them. Those would be too good. The Bembry is I think Bembry's got some risk too. But
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I actually feel bad. I'll take the minutes though. I think the minutes is what I care about, and I think that he has we have every reason to think he should play those minutes.
Yep.
I'm racking my brain. You know what I'll do? I'll get a little. I'm gonna get a hedge Stanley Johnson in there.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. And you watch that one. You know what's crazy? And I can't even do it in this lineup because Stanley Johnson is actually 100 more. That's hilarious. Who would have thought that? You know, Stanley Johnson and Oubre for Draymond and him. There you go.
Let me see if there's any questions in here. Favorites. Any? Okay, got that big shout. Sub 5%. Tend to agree. On DK, looking for utility at 4,500. Is THT at 4,400 a decent play? I would play McDermott at 4,100 first if you don't have him already.
Yeah.
And then even though he's not like my favorite play, it's kind of hard to deny the minutes. Like great, and even with Brandon Clark out, it doesn't hurt him. Grayson Allen is 4,400.
Yeah, I think the best. I think THT is a superior tournament play to Grayson Allen. I expect Grayson Allen to outscore him about 70% of the time here. I think maybe not 70, 60% of the time here, let's say. And I think that when THT outscores him, you could be looking at 10x from THT, where that's almost never going to happen from.
Good catch by Believer. Patrick Williams is 4,400 also.
Yeah, I'm not trying to play Patrick Williams. I'm playing him on FanDuel because I like him at the position and it fits well. I don't think you're going out of your way to try to get him. I don't think he's a better play than those guys are. But he does have has enough upside. Yeah, so it's fair enough, I guess.
I wonder. Oh, my man, Jim Beam. Oh, we got 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, Jim Beam, dude. I gotta send you a tip. I'm telling you, we got like third or something in the Monster the night that we kind of ran through those late stuff. We didn't get there on what would you call it? What was it, the BD the two what you call the big dick pitchers battle or something? You played them both against one another or something like that. I thought it was a great play. That one didn't work out, but the other ones did. Okay, so usually, just so you know, Jim, if you're going to come here for the live stuff, usually what we do is going to do the baseball first, just because we want to give the NBA a little more time to get the injury news in, because baseball is usually kind of set. So we usually do the baseball first, but I guess I'll give you my quick elevator pitch of me with the baseball. I'm heavy on the Mets as far as on DraftKings. Heavy on the Mets now I'm not playing that many lines. Heavy on the Mets. I'm playing the chalky, expensive pitchers. Giolito and now I forget who am I playing.
You're playing Giolito, Darvish,
Darvish. No, those two.
Yeah.
And then I'm also weaving in some Arizona if they play, weaving in some Colorado if they play, weaving in some Tampa if they play. That Tampa's going to play, and that's where I'm at. On FanDuel, I'm just only playing Giolito as my pitcher, and I've got more Toronto over there, and I still have Tampa as well. Jim Beam, Guzman is the big D batter of the day. Guzman, okay.
I actually don't mind that idea. I mean, first of all, if you're playing those games, I say, hey, yeah, absolutely, you should be going. But
you're more into the Gallo.
Yeah, Gallo's a better play, but Guzman might get like 1 at bat or 2 at bats.
Okay.
But the power upside is there, and he is a high strikeout guy who, when he makes contact, he tends to hit it pretty far. And this would be one of those situations where he could hit it pretty far for you, I guess. There you go. All right. If I face, okay. Oh, the other catcher, a cheap catcher, this Kirk kid for Toronto. If you're playing Toronto on DraftKings and FanDuel, I'm sorry, DraftKings. I think you want to get some Kirk in those stacks. I'm sure a lot of you are, but like, just this kid has got some serious talent. He's going to be really good, and I don't know if people are caught on to that because with Narvaez and Nunez right there, I think that people might ignore him a little bit. So maybe you want to get a little Kirk action.
And who is this, Kirk?
Yeah, Kirk. He's for Toronto. He's a catcher, 2,500. He's batting 9.
Oh, I remember him. That's right.
He's got some talent. So let's see, McKinstry.
And guys, if you weren't there early for the noon thing, one of the things I'm doing is I'm tracking ownership projections and stuff like that to see who's good and who's not and how reliable some of these are. So that when I then put these grids up with like what I think total industry ownership projections are, I'll know how close they are because that's really important.
Yeah, that's great stuff, man. Mets Dodgers there.
So I'm saving all this now.
Somewhere. Jock Peterson's hat keeps throwing me off. I keep thinking I have another Dodger in my FanDuel lineups.
It's really funny.
It's driving me nuts. Mets, Cubs, Dodgers, Cubs. Mets, Cubs. Okay. Mets, Dodgers, Cubs.
Are you and now you how much? So are you playing Paxton or not? I forgot what you said.
Yeah, I've got him about 30%.
Oh wow, okay. But remember, you have 2 pitchers, right? So it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm only playing 2 pitchers on FanDuel, the main Darvish and Giolito. But I have one lineup with a Freddie Peralta at 6,400 just to get kind of fun, but it's a smaller lineup.
Oh, okay.
He's 6,400 over there, and there's strikeout upside for him in this matchup. Even though I think there's a chance he gets rocked, and that's why I'm stacking against him a lot. But I figure get a little hedge one in there.
Yeah, but again, wasn't there that thing that like actually the wind blowing out is actually okay for strikeouts or something like that?
Well, yeah, I mean that may be the case, but it's I don't know if it's any. I honestly I heard you say that, and I've heard things like I also heard the opposite. So it's
okay.
Not going to put too much credit into.
All right.
Until I look at it a little further. Let's see, Nimmo. I do wish I had more Contreras. It's just hard to afford this man.
What's his price?
4,900.
Yeah.
I mean, you can afford him with certain teams, I guess, but not playing the teams that I want to play.
No, I hate to ask, but is there any new NBA news that came out in the last 30 seconds? I mean, like.
I haven't seen anything yet, which is kind of shocking. I kind of like this Guzman idea, by the way. I'm into that. I'm getting a little Guzman myself.
Okay.
All right. Any quick questions in here that I can answer? This day feels much smoother than yesterday for me.
As far as just build or just the way you're.
Just what I've got, and it's weird because it's actually a smaller. I mean, it's a bigger slate, but I just feel more locked into what I'm going to do. I I like the game. I don't think you can guarantee he'll play the entire game, but I think it depends on how many. I don't know how many lefties they have in their bullpen right now because I am not that interested in that game, but I do like Guzman.
Guzman, okay.
Yeah, puts much more. It puts more emphasis in that case, but that's not. You're not looking to try and get pitchers in games where the wind's blowing out. That's not a thing that we should try and start encouraging. I don't think.
No, I guess not.
I just feel a little like I'm doing something irresponsibly if I start saying too much of this stuff. What happens if Giannis gets ruled out after lock? Wouldn't that be annoying? I've got him in every one, I think, except for like one.
It would definitely be a little bit annoying.
Long, Vogelbach, Peterson.
You'll be able to deal with it, but
yeah. All right, let's try Giolito instead of Giolito Paxton. Try Kershaw. Drop down.
MLB.
I want more Dodgers here. I need more Dodgers on DraftKings.
I'm so pleasantly surprised, or I shouldn't say pleasantly. I'm surprised that we're able to get as many Dodgers as we can. Actually,
yeah, it's great. I mean,
they're not really going to be low. They're not really going to be low owned, right? I mean,
well, so that's what happens though. Like, what if Coors does look more like still risky around that time? Then they're definitely not going to be really low owned.
Let me see. Let me one more run here. Let's see what these guys say. And then
that's why I got asked earlier about the Dodgers stack. Do I like the 2-man or 3-man? I prefer. I like the Dodgers with a 4-man better than a 4-man or 5-man. I like them better than 4-man tonight, just because I do feel like. But I do think that a 5-man is completely. I would be kidding if I would. It's completely in play. It's just not my favorite way to do it. But if you're going to play McKinstry, those were the ones I think you'd lean more towards the 5-man if you're going to play McKinstry.
You playing any Paxton on FanDuel?
No.
Okay, I show him as being. I show him as only being like 10% owned. So
what's his price?
$8,500.
Oh, so he's a little more expensive. Yeah. Didn't get there.
Let me just see one more.
Seager.
Over here. Let me just see. So it looks as though ownerships are going to be. Let me see the highest owned guys are going to be aside from the pitchers. My highest owned player. Not my highest, but just as far as projections go, actually is Yelich. Which is interesting.
Yeah, Yelich. I like Yelich. I like the rest of that team too, but
these are wild. Some of these are very, very different. Some of these projections. Okay, so that's another thing. It's another thing that I track is this actually the standard deviation of these predictions to see where there's a lot of variance and stuff. You see the pictures; they're all pretty similar.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty across the board. So I would say Giolito and Paxton. Giolito, then Paxton and Darvish, as far as projections go. Vogelbach looks like a good play. You playing any of him?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
I love Mike Brousseau on FanDuel also. I didn't mention that one earlier. Favorite pitchers are the obvious ones. Darvish, Giolito. That was a question in there. Darvish, Giolito, Kershaw, Glasnow, and Paxton. And those are the 5 I'm using, and I'm mixing them up.
And I only have Vogelbach getting like 5% too. You don't get that too often.
No.
Okay. What else? Anything else in here before I have to run? Rockies versus Weaver. Got in late. What are your favorite pitches on DK? I think he said that. Why wouldn't they open the roof? It's 82 degrees. Puts more emphasis on home runs in case that's most important. Okay, so sorry, I got to run though, guys. So I have to close this down. Bobby will be in the Discord, I guess, to answer a couple more questions. And good luck, everybody. We got a big week coming up. By the way, check out the coaching session contest. Check out the Discord. You got to figure out who my top 2 owned golfers are going to be, which I will release tomorrow during the video. You guys have been very disappointing with that. You get 3 guesses. You got to come up with at least one of the 2, and we'll get some Masters business done. I will see you guys then.
All right. Good luck, everybody. We'll see.